Hello, everybody. You're welcome to our live stream today. This is Family Aspect, and I'm Charles. I have something to share with you today as the topic goes embracing equality in marriage, and why this is very important foundation for us to lay in our marriage as we begin to progress and advance into the future. Because you see, one of the problems that we have in our relationship today is the typical understanding, the accurate information that is required to be a success in what we do as couples in our marriage. So, I want to share with you today why it's so important to pursue a peace. You want to pursue happiness. You want to pursue lasting love in your relationship and ever growing, ever moving forward, ever progressing in that relationship. So, I want to welcome you to this particular section of our teachings today, of our explanations and discussions that we're having. So, the first thing I want to deal with, by the way, this whole subject, okay, this whole discussion is a section that I'm getting out from my book, my latest book, as you can see on the screen, right on my screen here. That's the latest book that we have released and is on Amazon right now. But let me share with you something: the importance of equality in relationship. Now, before we dive into uh, the importance, I want you to know something, that equality in marriage doesn't mean we are the same. It doesn't mean that we are the same. First of all, we can tell that our love life is being challenged. There are many things that are challenging our peace, many things that are challenging our happiness in relationship, many things that are going against what we expected from the beginning. Many relationships look happy on the outward, on the surface, but they carry unresolved challenges beneath them. And that's it. Because a lot of people just pretend that their relationship is working, their marriage is working. But in reality, they are actually going through pain. They are going through trauma within them. So, this is where equality plays a transformative role in our modern marriages today. It's so important that our modern marriages today need to accommodate and begin to embrace equality in their marriages. Now, let me tell you why. What is equality in marriage? Let me explain something to you. What is equality in marriage? Now, equality, like I said, is not about being identical. We are not the same. It's not about being the same. It's not about being identical. Equality is not about losing your individuality. That's not what it's like. Equality is about creating a space, an environment where both partners, both spouses, all right, feel heard. They have one voice. They have to listen to each other. They are feel held. I'm heard. I'm heard by being in a relationship. I'm heard. I'm listened to. My partner feel heard and listened to. It's about being valued. It's about being respected. So you look at mutual respect. You look at mutual commitment, responsibilities is mutual. And you look at value each other's uniqueness. You see, that's what it means. It's about looking at for the value of a person and recognizing that value and honoring that value in your relationship. And this is so important because a lot of people try to misinterpret and misunderstand the subject. It's a very simple subject. It's what aligned with the divine rule or divine plan of oneness, of being one, okay, in marriage. So remember this: equality is not about being identical. Equality is not about being the same. Equality is not about losing your identity. Neither equality is about being superior to another. No, equality is about us creating an environment, a place, an environment where both partners are are heard. They had one voice. They both had voices in the relationship. They can speak. They can address issues together. They have a say. Both have a say, and both are heard. They have to be listened to. Both of them can listen to each other in that relationship. It's about value system. It's about recognizing the value and the uniqueness of your partner and honoring that uniqueness and honoring it. That's what equality is about. Equality is about respect, mutual respect. Now, this is where a lot of people get it wrong and say, well, it is the wife, the woman are supposed to respect the husband love the wife, the woman respect. By the way, to correct that impression, there is no way you can love somebody without respecting them in the first place. So to love a woman, you will first of all realize that she deserves your respect to love her. So you have to give respect to her to love her. So love without respect is not love. So in reality, you are actually practicing mutual respect in trying to love her. So let's not make it difficult. These are simple things for us to understand. So that is what equality means. Now, let me begin to share with you the benefit of practicing this kind of life in your marriage. Now, the first thing is to understand that equality shows, statistically have shown that 30%, it can add 30% satisfaction to your marriage, to your relationship. If you will practice equality in your marriage, it will improve and boost your relationship in an amazing way. Over 30% statistically have shown that a lot of people go through this. And when they embrace relationship like this and embrace equality in their relationship, in their marriage, it boosts their friendship. It boosts their bonds. It boosts their unity. It boosts the peace. It boosts the harmony that they enjoy in that relationship. Over 30%. Amazing. Over 30%. So let's look at some of these beautiful attributes. The first thing is to understand that it brings peace. It enhances healthy relationships. So you want to have a healthy relationship, then equality is the way. If you want to have a peaceful relationship, a peaceful marriage, understanding yourselves, equality is the way. You see, you want to have a children that will take on that legacy of what true love really means, of what working together really means as a family, as spouses. Equality is the way. Equality is the way. So there's so much emotional fulfillment that many of us that are suffering in the marriage today, we enjoy if we will just learn to embrace equality. All right? If we will just learn to embrace it. And there are challenges, of course. Most people are finding it difficult to practice it, to even understand it. Some of them are not open to it. I know the barriers are clear. We have tradition. We have societal norms that are against it, completely against it. We have personal insecurities that are completely against it. Some people don't want to lose their security. They are afraid that if they permit equality in their marriage, the woman or the man will start acting in certain ways or being in certain ways, or, and many of us, our culture, our society forbid it. For instance, if you're an African person, the traditional wedding loan give you away. You see, your traditional wedding does not encourage equality in marriage. So even in the traditional settings, it does not encourage equality at all. So it gives superiority to the man and then makes the woman inferior. So they think the woman had to come into the man's life to do a lot of things. He is the king while she is the slave. But other people say, well, no, she's supposed to be the queen, but she's not queen. That's the problem. Many of them are not treated as queens. You see. So the problem is they are being given to their husbands as slaves. And they live that way. And the man tries to lord it over them. And that's not equality. That's not equality. That is slavery. That is inequality. That is the problem that we have in many marriages today. Because a man was not supposed to be dominating another person. Human beings are not supposed to dominate each other. We are supposed to work as a team and dominate the resources and the affairs of life. The affairs, not the human being. It's the affairs of life and resources of this earth. That is what we have right to dominate, not ourselves. Because we have equal dominance. We are given equal rights to dominate. So nobody should be oppressed. Nobody should be regarded as non-entity. Nobody should be, belittled. Nobody. But we do it all the time. We think it's a normal way of living. But that is the problem we're having in the world. That is the problem we're having in our marriages. Because the woman that is being relegated to the background, the woman that is being seen as a slave, the woman that is being seen as non-entity, the woman that is being seen as inferior, have the same dominant rights with you as a man. You see? So therefore, because we think that we are the head, we think that we are the king of the house, so we treat our spouses as inferior. That is inequality. And that is not good enough because they don't take it longer. Most of them will try and bear with you. But by the time they can't take it any longer. Why? Because she's a queen. He is a king. So by the time you treat him as a slave instead of the king he is, by the time you treat her as a slave instead of the queen she is, they rise to the top. They want to fight back. And in that fighting back, that's where we have a lot of conflicts. You see, that's where we have a lot of unhappiness, a lot of psychological and emotional turmoils and troubles. Because we just want to dominate. It's a natural thing for a man to think that way. But let me tell you something. It is not supposed to be so. Because tradition made it so. That's why you think it's normal. It is tradition. Do your history. Do your study. You realize it is tradition. Tradition has made our women inferior, insecure, inferior. And we treat them as though they're slaves. So the idea where people started fighting this equality in marriage subject is because they want to retain that level of superiority at home, which is wrong because you can't hold it much longer. The more you try to oppress her, the more she rises. The more you try to lock her in, the more she break out. Because you see, that's the reason for the divorce. That's the reason for the separation. That's the reason for the disoriented family. That is the reason. Because you're trying to oppress everybody. Because these barriers that we see, the traditional barriers, the societal norms barriers, the personal insecurity, these are the things that are against equality. So you go to a typical traditional system now and try to talk to people about this. Even as I'm talking now, there are people who are hissing. They are angry and say, what does he know? How come he coming out talking? What has he done in life? Guess what? If you've been following me for a long time, you know I have a story to tell you. In fact, I think I qualify to talk to some people who are still struggling in their relationship that has not even gotten up to 10 years. You are struggling, you haven't gotten up to 15 years. You are struggling, you haven't gotten onto 5 years in your marriage. You are already thinking of divorce. I need to talk to those people who can listen to me. So if you are below that age in your marriage and you're struggling, I think you should listen. I think you should listen. And because you see, this is what is working for me and my household. And I'm sharing something with you that you can take on your system, begin to work them out. Add it to your system. It will change a whole lot of things. The power of equality in marriage. The power of equality in marriage. Equality redefines relationships. And that's what we try to do. Equality redefines this relationship. It creates an atmosphere of collaboration. That's what it does. It creates an atmosphere of collaboration. It creates an atmosphere of shared decision making. It creates an atmosphere of mutual respect. Just think about what I just mentioned and see if you will implement these golden principles I just mentioned in your marriage and think that you will not have a good life. Just think if you not be enjoying and the woman happy and everybody's happy and they are looking forward to a better future. But this is what most of our marriages are lacking. There is no atmosphere of collaboration. There's no teamwork. Most of our marriages are void of shared decision making. Only one person is making the decision. Only one person has the right to speak. Many of our marriages are suffering of shared decision making. You see, many of our marriages are suffering of mutual respect and commitment. So there is a shift away. A shift away now. That's what we're encouraging. We want to encourage a shift away from the traditional rules, the traditional belief system, into this modern, embracing, beautiful future. A flexible approach to marriage. A flexible approach to marriage. Now, I'd like to share with you the key principles of equality so you understand this. Key principles of equality. Now, the first thing you want to look at for that makes equality what it is, equality in marriage that makes it so beautiful. So it's not that you just look at, oh, this is equality there. No, we're talking about the principles. That's why we call it embracing equality in marriage. Equality has principles. There are key principles that make equality work, that make collaboration work, that make shared decision making work, that makes mutual respect possible in marriage, that makes valuing the uniqueness of your spouse, that makes it work in marriage. How do you do it? What are these principles? Number one is empathy and active listening. Is a key principle that equality encourages in marriage. Empathy and active listening. You'll find this, what I'm talking about now, in chapter 2 of my book. This book that you see here. You find it in chapter 2. Empathy and active listening. So listening is not just hearing somebody say, I hear you, and you're watching TV. Your wife is trying to get your attention. Honey, I want to talk to you. Say, talk, I can hear you. And then you're jumping, hey, it's a goal. Hey, Ronaldo. Oh, yes. What were you saying? No, that's not listening. That's not listening. It's about understanding your partner's needs and perspectives. You get it? Listening, active listening with empathy is about understanding your partner's needs and perspectives. That's what it means to listen. In marriage, that's what it requires to listen. You pay attention to her needs. Can you even hear her needs without her talking, saying anything? Do you try to look at her perspective, her viewpoints regarding, or her point of view regarding any subject regarding concerning the family? Do you pay attention to take into account her perspective? God said to Abraham, listen to your wife. Listen to your wife for what she had to say. Do not send Hagar. Send Hagar away. Send Hagar and Ishmael. Send them away. Listen to your wife that she told you to do it. Listen. If you want to survive, you say listen. Sometimes we need to learn to listen. There are some things that they come up with that is needed for your better life. So empathy and active listening. Number 2, adaptability in roles. The principle, I'm talking about principle of equality. Number 2, adaptability in roles. Adaptability in roles. The roles that you play as in your marriage, as a husband, as a wife, as a father, as a mother. The role that you play. How easy is it for you to adapt? How easy is it for you to adapt? Adaptability in roles. As your life began to change, as you begin to evolve in your marriage, as you grow in age in your marriage, so must the dynamics in your relationship be. Everything about your relationship starts changing. But you see, your flexibility in that change ensures growth, a growth that you both will experience, growing together. If at all you give attention to the flexibility, to the change that is going on. You see, because you will change. Some of you got married 10 years ago. You are not the same. You have changed. Some of you have added more. Some of you have gone slimmer. Some of you have lost some shapes. Some of you have become older. You see, you change. Some of you have adopted good habits. And some of you have adopted, a lot of things have happened in your life. You change. But within that dynamics in the relationship where changes is allowed, you got to be flexible to adapt. For instance, there are some of you, most men don't wash dishes. When you are in Africa, you never wash dishes. You see, as a husband, now you come to Europe, life has changed, things have changed. Your wife work 45 hours a week. You also work about 45, 50 hours a week, and all of you are working, and now there's need to adjust. There's need to adapt to the new environment. But if you're not flexible, you create a problem. You say, how dare you tell me to wash the dishes? Have you ever seen me wash the dishes before? And the woman thought, oh my goodness, oh God, I need help now. You said, go get the dishwasher. Oh, how dare you tell me to wash that, or do this or do that? And then because you are used to that previous life, you say life is changing. You have moved to a new environment. Now you're finding it difficult to adapt. You see, finding it difficult to adapt. But equality, you see, understand the principle of equality helps you to know that, you know what, I gotta change. I need to adapt here. Oh yes, I need to change. I need to be flexible. I need to be flexible as a man. I need to be flexible. I need to be flexible as a woman. You see, you begin to encourage that adaptability. Very important. Very, very important. Those are the two major ones. Very important. If you study the book, you get it. Oops. Sorry, guys. I think I had disconnections here. Just go. Hold on a minute. Sorry, guys. I'm back on. I'm still here. Sorry. I'm having my screen disconnected. Okay. Sorry, guys, just give me a minute. I'm gonna be back on with this. All right, we're back. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened to my screen. It just went blank. Okay. This kind of topic, there's so many forces against it. But you know what? I'm gonna say the truth. We are here to change the narratives, and we must change it. Oh yes, whatever it takes, we're gonna change it. Okay. Now, the next point I want to address is some of the barriers that is affecting it, which is societal influence and breaking barriers of it. So how do you deal with societal influence against equality? Many of our ideas about marriage come from the societal expectations. Those are where many of our ideas come from. And many of our ideas come from our traditional or cultural norms. Okay. Those are where many of our ideas in marriage come from. Now, breaking free from that, because they never promote equality. You will not find it there. They never do. And that's where we have our problems. If you were to look at the influence of the society on marriage today, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's terrible. The young ones are afraid. I mean, they're afraid to even dare to try. They're afraid already. Some of them are renouncing the idea of even thinking of getting married at all. Now, everybody must not get married. Don't misunderstand me, and don't get me wrong. Everybody must not get married. So there are those that should, and they have the family orientation. They have this. They are family oriented. So they want to actually build a life. They want to build a home. Okay, and it takes wisdom to do it. So, but what we have gotten from the society is no wisdom at all. What we have gotten from our culture, our tradition, is not much wisdom at all. We have find that none of this promotes equality in marriage. None of this promotes mutual respect. None of this promotes anything that has to do with collaboration. None of this promotes teamwork. None of this promotes shared decision making. None of this promotes shared responsibilities and roles. None of them. None of them. Rather, giving a certain ability and power, authority to a certain individual to dominate the other, whatever culture or tradition you're from or society. So breaking free is what is needed. From this, it will allow you as a couple to create your own standard. And that is what I did. That is what me and my wife did. We have to break free from the societal norms. We have to break free from the cultural, traditional way of marriage. Of course, we did traditional wedding, but we didn't have to see it as a way of us sustaining our wedding or sustaining our marriage. You see, it's not a way to sustain it. We have to break free from those traditional, and we are still breaking free because there's so much to break free from. We're still breaking free. So you have to break free from that to create your own standard. That's what this book is all about, to help you create your own standard. And you can, especially those of you that are not married yet. This is your time to do it right. Because those who are already married, there's so much work they need to put in to get it right. Some of them may never be able to do it. But you that is young, planning to get into marriage, you better get this book and read it. You have to understand that embracing equality is the way forward in this modern marriage life that you're in. Embracing equality is the way forward, because you can see already everyone wants to be their own boss. I just left that there hanging. I left that there hanging. So nobody is willing to come into your life and become a slave. Nobody. Make no mistakes about it. You say, well, there are. Okay, keep doing it. Keep doing it. A time will come you realize that you're wrong. And it might just be too late to have a rethink. So equality, the power of equality, that it enhances intimacy. You see, it enhances intimacy. You see, you want to enjoy intimacy in your marriage, in your relationship, this is what you need. Equality enhanced it. It enhanced it. It enhances. See, you want to enhance your trust. You want to foster trust and intimacy in your relationship. Then do it on equality. Build your relationship on equality. That's what I will tell you to do. Listen, try this thing I'm telling you. Give it about 1 month or 2 and see what you get. You see, when both partners feel valued, you see, your wife know that you value her, you treasure her, you get it? And you know that your wife value you and she treasured you. See, there's this value. What happens is the bond between both of you strengthens. The bond between both of you strengthens. You get it? It strengthens. And this encourages deeper connection. You see, it creates deeper connection between you. Oh, try this. If you are in a relationship or marriage right now and you begin to try this, I want you to get this material, get this book, get this information into you. Get it as a gift to a partner or a friend. Get them, let them read and understand what I'm telling you. It will change your life. It will change your marriage, especially those that are not married at all. This is what I'm telling you. If you're single mothers, single fathers, you want to go again and try? You want to try and make it work this time? If you've been divorced before and you want to try to make it work this time, equality is the way. Equality is the way. It is the way. Believe me, what I share with you now, these are truths. These are vital truths. Vital truths. This was the original plan from the beginning. He said, for this purpose, a man leave his father and his mother, and shall be cleaved, shall be joined unto his wife, and both of them shall become one flesh. Both of them shall become one flesh, shall become one flesh. So as you join in marriage, both of you are supposed to join and embrace equality to becoming equal, becoming united, becoming, you see, one, unity, harmony, and equality. That's what he's talking about in that verse. Genesis chapter 2. You read from verse 26. Read from verse 24 to 26. You see there. That's what he's talking about. Equality. Very important. Very important. So here's the practical things I want you to take home with you today. The first thing you want to try to do, because I just thought I should give you a preview of chapter 1 and chapter 2 of what I discussed in chapter 1 and chapter 2 of this book that you see now, this very book here. You see, this very book is on Amazon right now. You can get your copy. You have the paperback. We have the the Kindle format. The audio Audible will be out soon. We're working on that as well. But get this. This is nice. This is nice. Look at this. If you really want to enjoy your relationship, the first thing you want to do is take this practical step with you. Reflect on your relationship now. I want you to ask honest questions. I say, ask honest questions. Ask yourself in your relationship, are both voices, which is your voice and your wife's voice, equally heard in your relationship? Do you listen to your wife? Do you listen to your husband? Do you see their perspective in every issue? Do you consult their ideas and opinions? Are both voices heard? Think about that. Do both of you feel empowered to pursue your goals, empowered to pursue your dreams? I'm not talking about one particular dream everyone is pursuing. No, you are encouraged to pursue your dreams and goals. Or are you the one that tells your wife not to work? You're the one that tells her you're not doing anything. Be a housewife. And she went to school. She's a graduate and she can't do anything with it because she's married to a dictator, an authoritarian. No. She has a dream to reach out to the needy. She has a dream to have a charity and then reach out to those orphans. And she had a big dream, but you're not letting her do it. She talks about it, you shut it down. He talks about his dream, you shut it down. Some ladies don't even know how to support their partner, their husband, to achieve their dreams. They shut it out. They withdraw from it. No. Get this book. It will teach you how to be better and why doing such or practicing this division is a big problem in your marriage. It will reveal to you so many things. So do that question. Ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself those questions. And think. I know some of you, I'm getting comments are coming in the comment section. I know it's interesting, but ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. There are men that are fighting this idea right now. They fight it to the teeth because it's so insecure for them to allow their wives, their women, to rise into the place of value, to rise into the place of significance, you see. But it's not supposed to be so. You are not supposed to be struggling with that. It is their right to be significant. It is their right to be valued. And because you are suppressing them, and that's why they want to leave. That's why they are not finding it funny anymore. That's why the whole place is in a mess. So I encourage you to embrace equality in marriage. I encourage you to have an open conversation about your roles and responsibilities. Let it be a shared decision making. Let it be a shared responsibility. Let it be mutual respect being practiced, valuing each other, honoring and respecting each other. Let it be so. Practice empathy. Practice it. Oh, if most men will practice empathy, what a change it will be for you. What a dynamic shift that you will experience in your marriage if you will practice empathy. Most men are not empathetic. Most men are not empathetic enough. We need men who are empathetic by listening without judgment, by listening to look at the perspective of your partner, paying attention to what they have to say and meeting their needs, valuing them, looking into their uniqueness and esteeming them. esteeming it, acknowledging it, and honoring their uniqueness. They are unique. And a man, a husband, ought to recognize the uniqueness of their spouse, of their wives, and honor it. A wife ought to recognize the uniqueness of their husbands and honor it. This equality practice is what we're talking about. You're creating a shared vision by aligning personal and collective goals. You align it. It is not like you must do what I do. No, it is not about you must do what I do. Everyone can have their goals, and each of us promoting each other, lifting each other up to achieve them and become relevant. Remember, it's not about you. It's not all about you. It's not all about you. So don't make it all about you. Making it all about you is error. It's error. It's error. And that's what many marriages have been on. Selfish, greedy, self-centered. It's all about themselves. No. Embracing equality will change all of that. And that's what we're talking about in this book. And I encourage you to get yours and see what you think. So here's my call to action for you. Equality in marriage is about shared respect. Equality in marriage is about understanding. Equality in marriage is about shared collaboration. It's about collaboration. It is not a destination. It's not. It is not a destination, but an ongoing. It is an ongoing journey of becoming one. So as you grow older, that's why in marriage, when you make that vow, you see, for sickness and for health, for better, for worse, till death do you part. You become so close, so united, so full of understanding that nobody had the power to separate you. You just know that nothing except death, no challenges had the power. Nothing will be able to separate you and your wife or husband. Why? Because you are practicing something that makes you become more understanding. You have understanding with each other. You have this collaboration going on. You have mutual respect going on. I mean, where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be? Where you are valued, isn't it? Where you are loved, where you are treasured, where you are valued is your heaven on earth. That's why marriage is so beautiful. If you play it like this, if you live your life like this, you will begin to enjoy it. Just change this. Once you change this, it will change for you. Everything else will change. Everything else will change. So if you find this section that we just had insightful, I want you to like, I want you to share, I want you to subscribe. Okay? And feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. I like to know what you think. I know some of you don't like what I just said. But if you loved it, I know the ladies will say, yeah, come on, say more of this. If you love it, hey, let me know in the comment section what you think. If you have any question, leave it in the comment box. I will take them. It's okay. It's okay to hear your opinion. That's all right. Some of you may not like what I'm saying. I get it. But your thoughts, your opinion, please leave it in the comment section. Okay. So in our next live section, we're going to expand on chapter 3 and chapter 4 of this book. So don't miss it. So we'll discuss more about communication strategies to foster equality in relationship. Don't miss it. That's what we're going to be talking about next week. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Like I said, subscribe, like, and share if these thoughts provoked you. If you were being provoked, by this idea. So I encourage you to share. And also, we have a platform on TikTok. If you want to join us there, look for us there on TikTok, and it's called Family Aspect as we are. So look for it. You search it, you find us right there and begin to follow us. We do live section every day on TikTok where we discuss all of these things in detail. So you can join us anytime, any day. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I believe you enjoyed this section, and I'm going to be seeing you next week. Bye for now.